Looks like we are now live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Decentralized Masters Podcast, your go-to source for everything decentralized finance. I am John, and I'm here with Shivam, who's joining us today. Go ahead and make sure to go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe. Definitely information you do not want to go ahead and miss out. We are here every week, every Thursday, here on the Decentralized Masters YouTube channel. We go live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you the latest insights, updates, and tools, anything related with DeFi. So welcome, Shivam. How are you doing today, man?
Pretty good, John. Beautiful day. Markets are doing great. Bullish news again to start this podcast off as well. Gary Gensler resigning, so things are looking great, man. How about you?
Oh, really? He resigned today or when?
Yeah, he's just put in his resignation earlier today, I believe.
Wow,
Just a
man.
few hours ago.
That's
Or
crazy.
he's
Is that
stepping
is that
down.
is
So it's
that
been
is
an
that
hour
why
and
the market's
49
going up?
minutes.
Is that why the market's going up?
I would assume so, yeah. Yep. So a lot of bullish news again coming out. So that's great.
Nice, nice. I didn't know that. That's really, really good. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. We're gonna go ahead and do a quick little market analysis, see what's going on. But yeah, man, doing pretty good too myself. I don't know why, but I think I told you this last week. I really don't feel like that 100K yet. It's really not hitting me yet. Like I don't feel that 100K Bitcoin. I mean, it's maybe because of the fact that the whole entire market hasn't really reacted to it very well. Meaning like the altcoins have done slightly little pumps. The only one that's really been doing very well has been Sui, which Sui actually has some massive news that actually happened a few hours ago, which we'll talk about the outage. But besides that, like I feel like it's we're not there at this stage. What are your thoughts right now, man?
Yeah, I mean, I can feel the excitement and the FOMO, Bitcoin to 100K. I think that's just the beginning. That's a psychological wall. Same thing, it just reminds me of when Ethereum tried to get to 1,000 and then we dumped around 800, and then we gigapumped to like 2,000, 4,000. I would love for Bitcoin to do the same thing, 100K would be that psychological wall, and then we just go way past it over, 100, 50, 200, that would be awesome. But Solana's already making new all-time highs today as well, on depending on some charts, and things are looking good, man. Some altcoins are starting to break out upwards. It's looking really bullish right now.
Yeah, most definitely. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can go ahead and take a look at crypto bubbles. I usually always like to go ahead and start off with crypto bubbles to go ahead and see how the market's reacting overall. But I didn't know Gary Gensler resigned today, so that's probably the reason why the market's reacting very, very positively. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So there you go. We have crypto bubbles right now on the daily. Everything is green. Don't we like to go ahead and see that? I believe Solana's all-time high was $260, right?
Yeah, 260. It just got to 259, 260 again on some pairings. So yeah, it just made a new all-time high, and it's looking so bullish.
Nice, nice. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and probably pass that $300 mark very, very soon. Overall, Solana has been doing very well alongside these other tokens. I mean, Ray is looking pretty good today, 17% for the day. In the last month, 133%. So Radium alongside with Solana. For all those that are not aware, Radium is a decentralized exchange that is running on the Solana blockchain. So that's the reason why there's some excitement there going on. Anything else? I would say Arbitrum also has been doing pretty well today, up 18%. So that's pretty good. On
Yep,
the weekly,
optimism right
30%,
there.
nothing too massive. But yeah, Optimism also up 26% of the day. We also did see one token that really took off in these last couple of days, and it wasn't really too crazy. I mean, it's XRP. It is crazy for XRP because XRP has been really like a stable coin, I would say at this point. Like a lot of people make fun of XRP because it hasn't really done anything. So congratulations to all the XRP holders. You guys are up 59% for the week, 131% of the month. I definitely think that XRP is going to start climbing up a little bit higher, but I just don't think it's going to hit that crazy price point of $1,000 per coin as a lot of people push the narrative when it comes to XRP. That market cap would be insane. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good in the market overall. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fear and greed chart. So let me go ahead and pull that out. Okay, so here's the fear and greed chart of Bitcoin. We are currently at extreme greed. Just like Siobhan mentioned, the excitement is coming in. We have Bitcoin at 57% dominance over the last 24-hour volume. We're up 30%. So we're definitely seeing some excitement in the market. I do believe that Bitcoin will be hitting that new all-time high really, really soon. We will be seeing that 100K. I say give it about probably within 2 weeks. I mean, realistically, this could happen over the weekend. What are your thoughts, man?
I feel like Bitcoin over 100K could happen today. I mean, it's everything's just moving so quick. You know, last time I checked the price of Bitcoin, it was what, around 97K. Where are we at right now on there? 98, 5 or
98.
98.3. Yeah, I feel like it could happen today. We're just 2K away. It's you know, imminent at this point. And just a matter of time. And I think today's Thursday, you know, tomorrow's Friday, we could have maybe a little bit of the dip and then go into that weekend pump we've kind of been
Yeah.
having. So it's I think today, if it happens today, just so much, you know, more momentum heading into the weekend.
Nice. So we have a comment right here. Hey guys, will there be a recording of the session? Yeah. So every session, if you go over to our channel on Decentralized Masters, if you go over to the live session section, you'll be actually able to go ahead and watch this this live call pre-recorded. You can rewind it. You can watch it as many times as you want. So that's a neat thing about going live on YouTube. No, but yeah, man, that's pretty exciting. 100K Bitcoin would definitely be definitely a good way to end the week for sure. I wasn't expecting a breakout this quick.
Oh, yeah.
I did see this accumulation coming in, like this little, you know, accumulation before a breakout, but I didn't expect a breakout this quick, to be completely honest. So during times like this, you know, it's really, really quick for the market just to react a little bit and overreact, where it pushes the price actually a little bit higher, kind of like what we're seeing right now. Maybe there could have been some liquidations that caused this, but I think the excitement with Gary Gensler is probably what caused this this pump leading into tomorrow. I'm very excited to see how Friday comes in. I think overall I kind of agree with you. Usually if Fridays end a little bit on a red, that we could be expecting a little bit of a correction. But if we end Friday tomorrow pretty good, we could be seeing that weekend pump leading into the next 2 weeks to probably Bitcoin over at already. I mean, we're already at an all-time high, but definitely seen over $100,000. So yeah, we do see this right here. The news an hour ago. Gary Gensler steps down as Trump signals pro crypto agenda. That's pretty good, you know. So Gary Gensler plans to leave on January 20th.
Yep. So just I mean, he basically has nothing left to do. You know, everything he's doing is irrelevant from now till January 20th. You know, he's just a sitting lame duck till we get a pro crypto person in there, and it's going to be very bullish in my opinion. It already is, as you can see the market reacting. You know, when the news initially came out, Solana had a massive candle that pumped, and not only with the SEC resignation, but along with the filing of its Solana ETF. So both within a few minutes of each other, that just, you know, resulted in a massive candle. So the markets are reacting bullishly. I think you know, these dips that a lot of people are waiting for, it's it seems like they may never come right now. And it's just, you know, buy and hold, and dollar cost in. But yeah, things are looking beautiful, even with the fear and greed as it continues to rise.
Yeah, the greed is definitely a little bit of alarming, but like you mentioned, like during times like this in the market, these indicators sometimes really don't do much, right? They're just going to be indicating obviously that we are in extreme greed, but it doesn't always mean that there's going to be a sell-off leading after that. We've seen that, you know, a lot with SUI as of recently. You know, that SUI has done over like about a 6 to 7x, I believe, maybe less than that, but I think it's around there. And a lot of people are still waiting for that pullback. We'll see if this pullback really happens. I would say, you know, I do think SUI is definitely needed for a correction, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And that's what I try to tell everyone is that during times like this in the market, even though pullbacks are needed and required, it doesn't mean it's always going to go ahead and happen. So I actually do see even with SUI, there's a possibility that SUI could still have some sort of a bullish breakout structure to the upside. So we're going to go ahead and see how SUI reacts within this channel. I do want to go ahead and talk about a little bit about the outage that SUI had a few hours ago. But so far right now, there hasn't been nothing major that is showcasing that this is going to be pushing down to the downside. It's looking like it's going to have a breakout to the upside, to be completely honest. So for SUI, if we could go ahead and see SUI break above $3.77, we are definitely going to be seeing SUI's next price target at around, I would say, around approaching that $4 plus range. So if we do see that breakout at around 370, 380, SUI will go ahead and break through this resistance that has been struggling for these last couple days already. And if we see this major breakout, there's going to be a signal for a continuation to the upside. So our next price target will be $4 and above. And realistically, it's looking pretty strong, to be completely honest. I mean, that the buying pressure is definitely gearing up. We're going to go ahead and see if we could break out of this channel. But as I mentioned, there's resistance at around the 370 to 380 range is really the key area we want to go ahead and break out before we start celebrating for a $4 and above SUI to happen. It looks like it might have already, no, it looks like the highest it hit was 3.9. So roughly almost about $4. We're not that far away from there. We are about an 11% pump away from that, which is very doable.
Yeah, I mean, SUI's been one of the.
What are your thoughts right here with SUI? Do you think we're going to be seeing a breakout to the upside or a breakdown to the downside?
It's if it can get through that little resistance that was. Can you hear me now? Yeah, if it can clear that resistance where it's at right now, that was previously support. I feel like it could certainly just continue pump up, and it's been one of the leading tokens the past few months. So it has some strength, which I like in it. Now, if people are selling off and rotating into something else, that is something of concern. But I don't really see that. Even with the 2-hour downtime, I don't really think that's going to be an issue in a bull market as much. It's not like it's at price discovery right now. It's just in its little accumulation and chopping down. So if it goes down. It would be a massive, below $3. That would be a great opportunity for quite a bit of people, and it could even make that, macro right there. I don't know what time this is coming up on. It's kind of blocked, but
this is
it could make that larger.
4 hour right here.
4 hour, yeah, it could even make a larger head and shoulders if it's trying to, right? If it did dump, but yeah, you can see that SUI really hasn't had any of these falling off the cliff dumps. Yet, or a lot of tokens haven't, especially SUI. But yeah, if the markets are continue to go up, I feel like there's going to be some strength in SUI, and it's going to send it up as well. Unless it starts trading like Ethereum, just completely different. But I don't see that happening given how much strength there is in terms of market and SUI and just DeFi in general on SUI as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like if we don't see SUI break out of this like 380, 390, we get that rejection. There's a possibility we'll still be entertaining within this channel, but it's definitely showing signs of weakness, which would mean that would be going lower down to the $3. And obviously, if $3 is broken down to, we'll be approaching $2. But with the fact that the whole entire outage just happened a few hours ago, that it was down for like 2 hours. As you see right here in this article, SUI network restore after 2-hour outage, setback for the Solana killer. So I was actually talking about this a little bit today. Solana had a very similar thing last cycle. It had so many outages, and I didn't like Solana for that reason, because I remember when I was during the bull cycle, I was trying to make a purchase with some NFTs. And I was transferring, I can't remember, it was $13,000 or $30,000, but I was transferring some money, and then it was stuck because of the outage that happened for Solana for like almost about a day and a half or so. And that's kind of the reason why I stopped liking Solana during that time. And I was like, no, Solana doesn't have what it takes. Fast forward right now, Solana is like the second most used blockchain with total value locked as well. We go ahead and take a look at DeFi Llama.
Yep.
If we go ahead and
Yeah, I think
take a look at
Solana's
the
brought in
change.
a ton of mainstream, attention as well, and retail users. It's just made it so much easier to onboard than Ethereum, and I think that's been something Ethereum's been lacking. But yeah,
Yep.
Solana, DeFi, TVL, meme coins, everything is just absolutely skyrocketing. Real world assets. So Sol is seeing a tremendous amount of growth. As you can see here, it's number two behind Ethereum. It's just, I mean, it's gotta do a 8x from here to even get to Ethereum's TVL of 63 billion. That sounds crazy, but in a bull market, is it possible? You know, it could be. We saw what Shiba Inu go from 500 million to 40 billion. So this would be an absolute overtake if it did happen. But yeah, Solana's been crushing it right now.
Yeah, I think it's very, very doable. I mean, I do think Solana is going to get towards like that Ethereum number. I think easily it could get past, that 20, 30 billion. I think Ethereum is also going to go up a little bit higher. But I do agree with you on that with the Solana meme coins. Solana really grew very quickly because of the meme coins, the meme coin exposure, and has helped retail. And it's made it more attractive for some whatever reason. You got to keep in mind, people are going to go after what they like and what they understand. And Solana has been that token. I would say that coin that initially was very culture like a lot of they started a lot of like NFT groups. They started a lot of like get-togethers in the Solana community because everybody was looking down at Solana at one point, and now Solana is catching up to Ethereum, right? With that being said, the reason why I wanted to talk about Solana and this whole entire thing with the outage with Sui is that we had the same similar thing happen last cycle with Solana. And even though Solana is
Mhm.
a pretty centralized token, like it's pretty centralized. Like Solana is not decentralized. Solana is literally a centralized token, and it has had multiple outages already happen, right? With that being said, Solana still managed to go ahead and be number two when it comes to this, right? So the way I like to look at things in the market, especially when it comes to these layer twos, these layer ones, that at the end of the day, we really don't know when that token, if that token even has the capability of doing what Ethereum has. It's like we don't know if Solana could do what Ethereum could do in numbers until it gets and reaches that level, right? And that's kind of like what we're seeing right now with Sui. Um, so like I would say that in my opinion, it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. There will be people that are now finally are going to be like, I told you so. They're going to try to look for that little negativity on just Sui and try to like play down on it because of this outage. But in reality, Solana had the same thing. As you're seeing right here, setback for the Solana killer. Solana had the same issues last cycle, and in reality, no one seems to care about it. So the way I kind of look at it is at the end of the day, regardless of how well the technology sounds like at some of these tokens, these layer ones, these layers two, at the end of the day, as long as people still believe in a token, believe in the vision of what they're doing, it's not really going to react too much. And we're actually seeing that with Sui. Like I would have expected that with this outage, we would have seen a massive, massive sell off. Now,
A
one thing
stronger
that could
dump,
have
yeah.
also prevented it, the other thing that could have also prevented it is that most centralized exchanges prevented withdrawals and deposits. So that could have also played a factor where a lot of these exchanges, instead of causing and allowing that panic, they weren't really able to do that because they did disable temporary withdrawals and deposits at the time of the outage. But no,
Yeah,
so
and
far, I mean, it's not looking concerning at all in my opinion, despite the outage that we just had.
yeah, same. Nothing's too concerning to me, especially with the market. And as you mentioned, Solana last cycle, it had multiple, it was out for like several days. If you ask one of our coworkers and mentors, Tyler, he has a really interesting story about his situation in that outage, which affected his trades and his profits. But yeah, Solana last cycle had I mean, so many other blockchains as well. Polygon was down for a few hours, AVAX. So it's kind of normal for these outages to happen right now. And I think it's some of us in this industry just expect everything to be perfect right now, but we also have to view it as this is a growing and booming industry. You know, there's a lot more developers that are needed to scale all of this production and infrastructure. And you know, some downtime does happen, but I think it's how the community and the tokens community reacts. You know, if you just dump it or everyone dumps it, then it's probably going to be super difficult for it to come back. But there's just so much utility in the sweet token, especially in decentralized finance, to generate so much passive yield that you really can't fade it. You know, when you're getting 200 to 1,000% plus APY, and it's just it's been really great, especially with the transaction fees. It's you know, right there with Solana, super low. But yeah, I don't think this dump was such a massive news as it was. As people expected. You know, it could have been an opportunity, you know, buy on that wick on that previous support on the 4 hours, which was right above $3.20. You know, if it goes lower than that, I would be super surprised. But you can see that it's trying to make support, break that resistance, flip that into support. And if it does, I think it's you know, price discovery mode for SWE 4+ for sure. Just like Solana's you know, ripping right now. Um, and then, you know, Ethereum, it's just chopping away still. It's the chart for that is looking you know, great right now with this breakout. That's probably on 4 hours. Yep. But yeah, it's, you know, it's came down, and I was expected to come down a little lower around 2,800 to see if it
Yeah.
makes support, but it didn't even get there. It's got this massive green candle today on the hourly right there, and it's trying to you know, head back up. Yep. So was hoping for 2,800, but it looks like we're going to be right there on 3,000. You know, the bulls aren't letting it you know, even drop below 3K, which I think is a good sign. And maybe all the Ethereum sellers are running out of tokens to sell, and there's just going to be a lot more buyers. But you know, Ethereum's going to have its run as well once Bitcoin dominance starts slowing down, and altcoins pick up, which is going to include, you know, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, the entire altcoin ecosystem. So
Yeah, 100%. We're definitely seeing a little bit more strength on Ethereum that we have in a while. We are still now, like as you mentioned, it does look like we have now established this $30,000 as an area of support. We definitely do want to go ahead and start breaking past this 3,400, because it does look like that has been a struggle. But to be completely honest, I'm not too concerned with that breakout if we do get it. The one that I'm really a little bit more concerned about, and I really want to see Ethereum break pass through, is this 34 to around this $3,600 zone right here. So where my circle's at, ideally we would like to go ahead and see Ethereum break pass through this. I think this right here has been a pretty big resistance. With Ethereum, if we go ahead and zoom out, there was a resistance right here around that 35 when it dumped. Same thing right here, 35 when it dumped. And then right now we're almost approaching that zone. But even back right here in last cycle in 2021, before Ethereum went ahead and had that major dump, it couldn't break past this $3,600 zone. And then that's when it retraced about 70%, right? So we definitely do want to go ahead and see the key area for Ethereum to definitely confirm that Ethereum is going to continue to go up higher. As Shabam said, I mean, right now there's dominance in Bitcoin, right? So it's clear and it's normal for us to see this kind of action where Ethereum is not the strongest, but it definitely has been doing a lot better than it has these last couple months, right? So if we do see this breakout within the 35 to the $3,600 range, I do believe this is going to be the area where we will start to go ahead and start seeing a little bit more of the altcoins start to go ahead and pick up, and slightly some of the other meme coins right here within the zone. But as Siobhan mentioned, we do need to go ahead and have that dominant shift from Bitcoin to Ethereum to then start getting our, what is called altcoin season. And that's usually where everything besides Bitcoin is considered an altcoin. They start to do very, very well. You start seeing your 3x, your 4x's, your 5x's. You're seeing them go up like almost every day. Kind of like what you're seeing with Sui, people waiting for retracements and not happening, right? So like whatever little opportunity you get to purchase, non-financial advice, just DCA, because once this altcoin season really begins, it's going to be very, very difficult to try to go ahead and go back and try to catch these with these very, very high discounts in the market. So we are getting near that. We're not there yet, but in my opinion, this is the sign that we're seeing right now with Bitcoin. We're seeing it with SUI. This is a time to start loading up on your altcoins before we do have that major breakout with the altcoins and have that altcoin season.
Yep. Yeah, and I think a symbol of that is even if you take a look at the Bitcoin dominance market cap on that, you can
Others
see every
or
little,
which one?
just the Bitcoin dominance chart,
BTCD?
BTCD. Yeah, you
Okay.
can see that, every time the dominance has kind of just taken a quick dump is when these altcoins have kind of pumped. And a great example of that is, this morning, if you just go to the hourly on that, you can see that it kind of fell off from where it peaked at 61.8%. To 60.63, and that little drop down right there gave Solana a chance to break through its the range it was chopping in to set a new all-time high, as well as a few other altcoins and meme coins that just pumped within that hour. So this Bitcoin dominance is a very important chart to track, because if you look at it on the macro, it really hasn't been this high since 2021, I believe. So let me
Yeah,
or zoom out.
go
Yeah,
for it.
it's certainly been just lagging behind for a while. And now Bitcoin dominance is back. Just so much micro sailor, micro strategy, just buying billions every day, ETFs and institutions coming in. So yeah, it hasn't been this high since March 2021. So that's 3 years right now. It took 3 years for us to get back out of this bear market and back into this bull market of dominance for Bitcoin. And I think that shows even with mainstream media. What are they talking about? Are they talking about Ethereum right now? Not really. Solana, not really, other than the ETF news. Talk about Bitcoin every single day. Michael Saylor, BlackRock, China, even this morning. Regarding China, they've said something interesting where every cycle for the past, or every year since its creation, they have banned it, said it was illegal and a scam, and then they came out this morning and said that Bitcoin is a legal tender because it's like property. It has ownership, and so that's a major shift. And I have obviously always had this inner feeling that China just had a massive farm somewhere and they've just been mining Bitcoin for years now.
Yeah,
Just stacking up, game theory. If not, maybe they're just market buying. But it would make sense, especially if the United States is owns so much right now, as well as wanting to create a strategic reserve. And senators such as Senator Loomis, I believe, or Lumen, is already like wanting to sell the entire gold treasury we have and just put that into Bitcoin. And with the idea that eventually we'll be able to pay off this nation's debt strictly from Bitcoin's pump and gains, which is seems like a viable option. So there's just so much positive news, not only for this industry, but the country and global macro, just from Bitcoin dominance going up and everything that's
yeah,
happening right now. So it's interesting to see where the dominance is going to peak this cycle. Last cycle we can see it was around 74%, and that was Bitcoin had what its previous all time was around
it was
75,
December.
77. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
December
interesting to
December
see where this
20th.
peaks at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So around
I'm thinking
Christmas
I'm
time
I'm
is
thinking
for
around
sure.
60, 70, I think. I think our peak might be around 70, in my opinion. This is where I have my little line, but I agree with you. We'll see how high Bitcoin's peak is, but usually once we see Bitcoin peak and we see it coming down, the dominance starts to fall down. That's usually where the altcoins and meme coins start to pick up, because if you actually go ahead and look at where Bitcoin dominance when meme coins did very, very well, right here around this time of 2021, this is where Shiba Inu was created, around when dominance of Bitcoin was around 47, 49%. Another area that was really good too, we had another mini meme coin season at around 2022, but the most recent one being in April, which Pepe was created. So if you've noticed, these big meme coins usually start to take off when dominance of Bitcoin is below that 49 to 50%. So this is where essentially you start getting a lot of the meme coin slash altcoin season really starts to take off. But I think once Bitcoin takes off and finds its top, I think slowly then that's when the altcoins will start to take off. But ideally, meme coin season, I could definitely say that we see a lot of excitement around this 49 below 49%. Some altcoins also do very well within this range. The latest one being 2023, which was when Pepe got launched. So it's pretty interesting how I don't want to say it's accurate, but you can definitely go ahead and get an idea of where the market could potentially go the next coming months and what is it called? I wouldn't want to say trend, but what token or what section is going to take off next, because it's pretty interesting for the last few years since 2021. You had Shiba here, you had another meme coin cycle here, and then you also had Pepe recently of 2023. So it definitely is some data to go ahead and work off. Now, will it continue to do the same thing? I don't know. We'll see. The data does change, so we also got to keep in mind that past indicators doesn't mean that it's going to happen again, right? But based off these last few years, usually when 49% dominance falls is usually where a lot of the micro caps start to take off. So definitely, I'm definitely cheering for Bitcoin's rise, but I'm also cheering for Bitcoin's top, because I want this altcoin slash meme coin season to start already. That's really where I'm mostly exposed to. Mostly exposed to the altcoins and the micro caps. So that's really where, in my opinion, the fun things start to happen. Once we start seeing that shift of Bitcoin dominance into the lower caps, that's where the excitement comes in, the opportunities come in, especially in DeFi too. Talking about DeFi, that's really where a lot of the opportunities come out, where you get really good LP pools with some pretty good returns within that time, once we start seeing that shift from Bitcoin dominance. So I also believe, in my opinion, that we have a DeFi season, and I usually believe that's within when Bitcoin dominance is around below 49%. Like I mentioned, that's where a lot of the micro caps and a lot of new platforms usually show up, is usually within that time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
really
completely
interesting to see
agree.
where things go.
Yeah, that's exactly when all these memes, low market cap tokens really start seeing a pump as people take profits from Bitcoin and start rotating in, and you don't want to 10x or 5x those profits as well. So it's this cycle is going to be so interesting, especially with institutions coming in. Where does the dominance stop or peak? Because that liquidity typically just sells and rotates out. Is it going to be a up only trend like the stock markets and then from the 1970s? If
Yeah,
it's
that's
if you're going into
crazy.
that trend, it's like, oh man, it's that's what I'm more concerned about, is when we uh once we have
Look at this.
institutions, ETFs and everything, we're just up only. Everyone's probably still waiting for that dip to come and retest that 4,000 break, and it hasn't happened. Since then, it's basically done, quite a bit. So that's
Yeah,
what my
this
main
this is the
concern for
stock
Bitcoin
market.
is. Yeah. So that's what my main concern for Bitcoin and crypto is right now. It's we have institutions, we have so much global liquidity, ETFs, countries, and everything just purchasing. Are even if they sell, are we going to see a massive pullback like the last cycles, which was just based off of retail and whales? Even if there are whales selling, we have whales that are buying, Michael Saylor, into BlackRock every single day. So it's very interesting to see when the dominance ends and the party stops. But it's my concern is on a bullish outlook, which is just like the stock market, where it just continues. Um, and it's difficult to take profits, but you have to along the way. And every little dip you get, you load back up. So
Yeah, it's really
it's
interesting
definitely
when you really
interesting.
zoom out. It's really
Yeah,
interesting when you zoom out and look into the stock market, how it has been doing. This is the monthly. So since early what is it, like the early
2015, 16.
2016. Yeah, this is where it really like started to take off. But realistically, like the market started to pick back up at around '08. So after the '08 crash that we had, the market has been nothing but up. So this is a huge problem that we're in. Like, when is this correction for the stock market going to happen? Who knows? You know, we really don't know when this is going to happen. But overall, like the recent correction that we have with the stock market was right here at 36, which was at around this was back in 2022. It says right here back in 2022 when we had that overall correction about 30-40%.
Yep.
But overall, it continues to go up, right? So this is pretty interesting though, because if you look at this, Shivam, you see that this is like a cup and handle that we're seeing right here with what happened with the US 100, which is the NASDAQ. And this is
Yep.
what you're seeing right now with Bitcoin. So it's, let me go ahead and switch over to Bitcoin right there. But go ahead and take over. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my computer before it dies out of juice.
Yeah, let me go ahead and start sharing my screen and show some charts as well. Let's see, share screen. Let's see if you can see this screen. So this is
Yeah,
just
we're good.
Solana I'm looking at. But let's go ahead and take a look at the total crypto market, which actually made a new all-time high today. So if you take a look on the daily, or let's go to the monthly so we can see everything. Last cycle we kind of peaked at right here, which was the high of $3.01 trillion. And today in this massive monthly candle up, you can see we kind of got to a high of 3.23. So, so much liquidity is coming in. Again, the cup and handle pattern again, and then we're breaking out. It's just where does the party stop, right? My bullish thesis is 6 to 10 trillion. I think a lot of people have that as well. Certainly, macro long time bullish. I think we can overtake gold and get over 14, 15 trillion at one point. But how long is that going to take? I don't think that's going to happen this cycle. If it does, man, we're going to see parabolic and banana zone movements like we haven't seen in a while. That volatility that people really love in crypto, the traders, degens, especially even in DeFi, there's going to be so much opportunities just earning and generating passive income from trading fees. They're going to be so high. So there's just so many opportunities when you just look at this chart. Now, this entire crypto market cap includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, every single token. So if you take a look at one without, that's excluding Bitcoin's market cap of 2 trillion, 2+ trillion, you can see it's at 1.25 trillion. This is barely breaking out, which shows that people are, purchasing tokens outside of Bitcoin, and it's starting to increase. Solana, Sui, Ethereum, Pepe, Shiba Inu, whatever those tokens may be outside of Bitcoin, you can see it's trending upwards. You can see this massive spike in volume coming in on the monthly, and on the weekly, again, just that cup and that handle, and it looks like it's trying to break out to set an all-time high above 1.1 trillion. So, the total crypto market cap, including Bitcoin's at 3, which is almost, double this, or almost quite a bit actually, over a little double. But if you get to 3 from here, even 3 trillion, that's about 1.4x. If you look at the previous cycle where it topped at right around here, and we include this candle, that was to the top was 3. So if you do another 3x from this high, let's zoom out. So it looks like around 7 trillion. So just to see the tokens excluding Bitcoin get that high is, in my opinion, very bullish, and just so much liquidity coming in. And then again, let's take a look at another chart, which is just the DeFi market cap, right? Includes the metrics in there. It's not even to a trillion yet. It's only under 100 billion. And last cycle, we peaked at 199 billion. So I think this is a very good chart, because this tells me there is so much opportunities and so much juice left to squeeze in DeFi. And it's only the beginning just in this cycle. We haven't really even broke out or anything, right? So if you've just been in crypto, especially as part of Decentralized Masters, and just been collecting yield basically this entire earlier this year, last quarter, as well as this little downside right here, just generating fees, earning tokens. Now those tokens you've earned, they're about to appreciate. So you basically got free tokens by allowing liquidity for users to trade. And those free tokens are probably about to 5x. And a perfect example of that is SWE. And again, now if you take a look at the market cap, the last one that I like to look at, which excludes BTC and ETH, even though Ethereum really hasn't been trending the best right now, but it will have its day soon. You can see it's breaking out as well. And this market cap is only at 1.13 trillion. And there's just so much more left as well. Just looking at from previous all-time high, if we just, go from here to here, just another 2-3x, which is going to put it 2 to 4 plus billion, right? Or trillion, excuse me. So this entire space is looking so bullish right now. And then just seeing all of this liquidity come in, I think it's, this party is just barely beginning. And if you take a look again at Bitcoin, the 69,000 is the line that I have from election night, which just marks that, how much has happened in just a few weeks, just 3 weeks, right? We had in 3 weeks, election night, we pumped 40%. 40% straight to 100K, and we're slowly just trying to breach that wall. You can see this parabolic, Bitcoin loves to do this little vertical accumulation, and it's starting to, sharply start to turn up. It's only a matter of time before it clears this, 100K wall, goes up, maybe does a quick retest or down here to 93, and then just continues to gig ascend up to 120 or plus. So things are looking very bullish. It's just not much to talk about with so much euphoria and fear and greed going on in the market. So as you can see, even Bitcoin's a strong buy, even when the fear and greed is in the greed territory. So many good tokens, altcoins trending up, and it's so bullish. I don't know what else to add to that other than just being so euphoric right now as we
No,
continue to
yeah,
trend.
I agree, man. I mean, definitely, I think these last couple months we were all, asking ourselves like, what's going to happen after the election? Like, what can we be expecting? Is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? Is Bitcoin really going to take off? And I think now that we're finally getting this breakout, it almost seems so unreal, at least to me, where I'm just like, wow, that's pretty crazy. Like, who would have, I wouldn't want to say like who would have thought, but really think about it. Like 100K Bitcoin's pretty insane. If you really look at it, like it's pretty crazy because it's the beginning to everything, right? You just mentioned like that right now. Like I also agree. I do think that our top, in my opinion, could be anywhere between 6 to 12 trillion total market cap, which right now we're at like what, 3? So we're nowhere near the stock market. The stock market is at around 50 trillion, I believe. 50
God.
trillion. So we're like a small ant, man, and that's not even including the forex market, which is the exchange foreign exchange currencies, the whole entire currency exchange. We're nowhere near that. I don't even know what that is. I think that might be in the definitely. I don't know how high
14x.
that thing is.
You think that's
Yeah,
doable
like
this
see,
cycle? A 14x?
not this cycle, not this cycle. No, I don't think so. I think at the most, in my opinion, it really being bullish. I think we could definitely see.
Oh, you're
Well, it looks
breaking
like we
up.
disconnected a bit there. We're still back
Yeah,
live. Looks like we
yeah.
just
Started.
was that just me?
Yeah, I think it might have been you or both of us, but yeah,
Okay.
there's a little bit of lag right there.
Yeah, I was saying I think in my opinion, I think 6 to 12 trillion is definitely very, very, very doable. Because I was also looking at right now with your RSI, and if you kind of actually look at it with your RSI when you were showing us the market cap at around 6 trillion, I think it would be near that RSI being on the overbought territory.
Yeah, I think what'll help Bitcoin get to 50 trillion if is I draw a line and put a magnet there, just get it to attract. Is there a magnet emoji?
I'm sure there is, man.
Let's see if I can find it.
Hey guys, also remember, welcome. We have over 9 viewers. Just make sure you guys could go ahead and comment down below. We could go ahead and answer any
Yeah,
questions that
feel
you
free
have.
to
So
ask
feel
any
free to
questions as
comment.
well.
Yeah, feel free to comment, ask any questions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How do you feel about the market? Is there any tokens in particular you guys would want us to go ahead and quickly review? Feel free
I'm
to
just
go
going
ahead
to
and
put a
comment down
lock
below.
there. But yeah, it's only a matter of time. I think this is going to help manifest Bitcoin to 50 trillion if I just put a line there and just eventually wait for it. But yeah, 3.19 trillion right now, and the 3 month chart here. But yeah, it's you can see the RSI is trending up again, and
Yeah.
you can see bullish movements as it bounces off. So 3x from here again is going to be around. Basically, we're going to start to get into that double digit territory. And once we're there, it's going to be so interesting when we look at the stock market and just traditional markets in the direction we've been heading.
No, yeah, it definitely is an interesting. I was very interested with that chart that you showed about the DeFi chart. That it only had like about a billion something. That's insane. It's a lot of exposure that's still left for us to
Yeah,
go ahead and take
so
advantage
much.
of.
Yeah, the juice hasn't even been started to squeeze on here. As you can see, it's only at 99 billion. If you take a look at DeFi Llama, I think they're at 111, and they say the last cycle peaked at 175.
Hmm.
This is around 199. But again, you can see that a lot of these tokens, if we take a look at Ethereum's DeFi and break it down a little bit once this loads, let's just do monthly. We can see it started to trend up again. It kind of bottomed 2023, 2024. We started to trend up. We kind of dipped down and we're going back up again. And it peaked at 105 billion. So today we're at 64 billion. So that's interesting. Now,
So
Solana
my
one's been
question
super
is,
interesting.
Shivam, my
Oh, go
question
ahead.
is with this, like, what does it track? Does it track like the protocols, total value locked? Like, what is it tracking for this market cap, or is it like exchanges, like dexes?
Oh, I need to share my screen again. It looks like it didn't change. Let me update that. Keep forgetting you have to manually do that. Boom. So here we go. So yep, great question. So what it's tracking is essentially, the TVL of the entire DeFi ecosystem, and you can break it down whether you want to double count, a staked assets and the volumes, and you can see the stable coin market cap within the DeFi and the amount of tokens that are just the volumes, the dominance as well. So there's just so much metrics right here to give you transparency and create a picture for you as a DeFi investor as you're looking to get into these markets, especially at 64 billion. Again, it peaked at 108 last cycle, and it's barely at 64 right now. So I think that's a good sign. And again, we take a look at the volume. The volume's largest volume was at 66. Right now, it's at 49. So it's really interesting for Ethereum. Then if you take a look at Solana, which is, peaked at 9.9 billion November 6, 2021. And then I remember, initially getting more involved in the Solana DeFi ecosystem, literally around here, around November or last September through December. And the TVL was 430 million. And now we're at 8 billion, pushing up to that 9. And I think, this is just a massive chart up. You can see it comes up, comes down, then we have this massive pump up again, and we've kind of been chopping around. And if this was a chart and you had a channel here, you can see it broke out, made support on that, and it's going to a new all-time high right there. So it looks very good, and that makes sense because the Solana DeFi ecosystem is full of so much really good opportunities right now in generating yield, especially as the Solana token pumps. You can generate fees while traders are trading. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's
pretty
been very,
crazy.
not to mention the meme coin mania. One of the
Yep.
what's the top tokens for meme coins right now? Sol. Retail is purchasing their meme coins on Sol. So a lot of bullishness going
Williams
on. And
asking, Williams
mhm,
asking, can you take a look at Ton?
on, yeah, I've certainly heard of that one. Let me change my screen back. Let's see. Stop screen. Share screen. So I do not have ton USD. Let's take a look at Binance. So Ton, I believe was what the Telegram token, correct?
Yeah, Telegram token.
Yeah, I know. You can see. I believe this was maybe when they arrested the Telegram CEO. Yeah, it was August
Yeah.
24th. That's when they arrested him in France or wherever he was. Um, so that's when it massively dumped, and since then it's been, just chopping around trying to reclaim it. But I do think all these tokens that have launched, they had this, they pump up or they drop, and then they just dump, accumulate, then eventually, as the bull market picks up, they do pump. Now, as a disclaimer, I don't own any ton, or have any intentions to right now. But just looking at this chart, you could see that it's looking pretty solid if you wanted to get in. But again, it's one of the newer tokens. You would have to certainly look at token unlocks, see if there were any allocations. I don't know much about the airdrop or the initial launch of this token to really know what the token economics are either, to really get a good analysis of it. Whether or not in the future, if you do or you buy right now, who's going to dump on you, or if there's any additional locks coming up.
Yeah, I could definitely go ahead and do some quick little TA on this
Yep,
for
I'll
the
let you share
resistance, but
sharing.
let me go ahead and clear my tabs because my computer, I don't want to be lagging.
I see a question that I'm going to pop up on there real quick. What do you guys think about Cardano? This is just my personal opinion. I do not want anything to do with Cardano in the politest way. They had they certainly grabbed people's market and attention last cycle with Charles Hoskin, the CEO and founder. But he really hasn't done anything in the bear market to ensure, token holders continue to utilize their protocol on their platform, DeFi, things like that. So Cardano
Yeah.
is kind of a dying dinosaur, in my opinion.
Sunday swap was supposed to be the big thing for Cardano. It was supposed to be one of the biggest things for the DeFi space. I never dabbled into it. I'm not sure if it ever did anything, but this was supposed to be the big thing last cycle for Cardano. It was supposed to definitely Cardano was supposed to be like the Solana in this space, and it didn't make it. Now, I do know that they're promising some sort
Real
of
Ethereum
partnership with
killer.
Ripple. Yeah, they're promising some sort of a partnership with Ripple. With I don't know what they're gonna do, but honestly, they Cardano's not really doing much when it comes to DeFi. Could it do something? Maybe, but this was supposed to be a big platform last cycle. Sunday Swap was supposed to be revolutionary for Cardano users, and it was supposed to get all this exposure, and it really didn't do much. But time will tell. But what I could go ahead and tell you with Toncoin right now, we could take a look at Cardano right now shortly when it comes to TA. But looking at Toncoin right now, we are definitely seeing a little bit of resistance. It almost shows, it almost seems very similar to what we saw with Ethereum. How Ethereum is also getting ready for this breakout. So right now, Toncoin is still on this downtrend. So we still have to go ahead and wait for this breakout to happen. So ideally, we would want to go ahead and see Ton break above this I would call it the $6 range. So we could go ahead and see a breakout to a continuation to an upside. But I would say the big major resistance we definitely do want to see Tom break past through is $6 to $7. But I'm not sure if any of you know, but Ton also is has a lot of exposure into the meme coin sector. I think one of the biggest tokens being Redo. That's on the what that's on what is it called on Ton. So I think this is kind of the reason why I've been saying that this cycle, I think we're in a meme coin super cycle. Sui is going to go ahead and get that attention, a lot of that market cap because of the meme coins, and we already saw Solana taking over. So I do think that Ton, Sui, we're going to go ahead and have all these other like base. I think, in my opinion, is going to be like the next one for when it comes to meme coins. These are
Oh, yeah.
all these blockchains are going to get known because of meme coins. So Ton is one of them, and I know Ton, their biggest meme coin is called Redo. It has something to do with the Telegram founder and stuff like that. So pretty cool narrative. I do not own any Ton or any of the meme coins, but definitely have been wanting to go ahead and take a look at that. But yeah, Ton, Sui, I think those are definitely going to be big growers this cycle when it comes to the meme coins.
Yeah, and referring to base, I'm right there with you on base. Base has been really great for DeFi generating yield. It's had so many great opportunities just this entire year. especially on Aerodrome, which is a decentralized exchange allowing users to swap tokens along with providing liquidity to generate yield. And there's no other way to look at the larger picture and see Coinbase, who owns the Base blockchain, and the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, is already rumored to be having conversations with President Trump about his crypto cabinet and all these policies. So, Base has so much growth and could even have one of those buy the rumor, sell the news events, right? Even though they don't have a token, its ecosystem could certainly grow. And saw that earlier around September or August when a few of the senators disclosed purchasing $50,000, $100,000 worth of Aerodrome, the token. Since then, it's basically 2-3x since those disclosures came out, and it's been bullish in a sense. And I've been participating since it launched last earlier this year specifically, such as tools like Warpcast, Farcaster. But yeah, Base is really solid as well in terms of its user growth right now and incentives.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. Because of the buy the rumor, sell the news, since Base doesn't have a token and everybody's speculating for a Base token, the only exposure you can get the Base is by being exposed to DeFi or meme coins. Those are the only two ways. And the DeFi side of things have been giving, in my opinion, have the best rewards when it comes to that. Because you also got to keep in mind we're also getting the appreciation of Ethereum. So if Ethereum does get to that, let's say this $8,000 to $12,000 that a lot of people are talking about, that's possible. Imagine what the growth for Base and most layer twos will look like. Arbitrum, I feel like it's right underneath Base, but my favorite blockchain right now is Base because it's on Ethereum basically, but the gas fees are very, very low. And I think I like Ethereum. The only downside to me personally for Ethereum are the gas fees. But that's what we have to layer twos.
And I think Base is also actually built on Optimism, which is a layer 2 of Ethereum, their stack. So it's not directly to Ethereum, but I think they utilize Optimism's stack. It's something interesting the way that they developed the blockchain. But yeah, it's a layer 2, but they utilize the other layer 2's infrastructure to build it.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't know that. And then you have layer 3s like Degen.
Yeah, Degen, I certainly ventured down that rabbit hole. I own a ton of Degen as a disclaimer. Is participate in their airdrops, by participating in their Warpcast, Farcaster. Yeah, Degen's been it's since it launched January 2024 earlier this year. It's been been doing great. It went from 0 to 1 billion market cap without a real pump yet. So I'm curious to see what happens as the market continues to expand.
Just wait for that ETH breakout, man. Once that ETH breakout comes in, that's when a lot of these layer twos are going to take off, man. Like a lot of these layer twos to ETH are going to take off once we see that breakout with Ethereum. So that's kind of the reason why I'm excited for this breakout, because even though right now with what we've been seeing, the excitement of DeFi, we haven't seen anything just yet, especially on the Base blockchain. Like we haven't really seen anything. Like if Base has been treating you so very, very well so far, just wait until we have that breakout to around the 36 to the $3,800 range on Ethereum. You're going to see how quickly it's going to pick up after that.
Exactly.
Well, it was great having you here, Shivam. As always, I'm going to go ahead and end this, guys.
Great show.
But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us here every Thursday. We will definitely be having more guests come in. So hopefully next week we could go ahead and bring someone else. But yeah, definitely go ahead and stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and end this very soon. So thanks for tuning in. Oh, it looks like my connection just disconnected. Okay, we're back.
Technical difficulties. And came back.
Anyways, as I was saying, thanks for tuning in this week. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for. Wait, it looks like I'm broken again. Okay, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm just gonna do a very simple break. I'm just gonna do a simple outro. Appreciate all of you guys, William, Jim, Healiness. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully today you went ahead and learned something new within this DeFi space that is evolving very, very quickly. And hope you go ahead and take action. Make sure to go ahead and join our free community down below. Become your own central bank, or not your own central bank, become your own bank with Decentralized Masters down below in the description. So definitely go ahead and take advantage of that. And with that being said, I hope you guys all have a good one. Anything else you have to say, Shivam?
No, just be careful out there in the markets and, respect the pump.
You guys take care. Bye.